is Serious Gamer. I talked about it because you don't care. And today we're doing this guy who does his first commentary on another Star Wars Episode 7 video. What a shock. And wow, it's worse than the last two. How, you ask? Well, let's take a look.
What's up, everybody? My name is Immortal Speed HD, and this is my very first commentary. So yeah, I'm doing it on Carbonic. Let's do this.
What is that avatar? Oh my god. You know what it looks like? You know what it looks like? It looks like a ponification of the Ender Dragon. If you want to be the Ender Dragon, be the Ender Dragon. Don't do this, man. This is like the worst thing you can do in terms of avatar. Also, that image has the DeviantArt logo in it. I've noticed that a couple of times with people who use images off the internet.
Hello everybody, this is Carbonic, and I just came back from watching Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, originally I planned on making a normal review of this. I have decided after watching the movie, I would instead just kind of talk about it, and talk about exactly why I really did not like it, and...
How dare you say you do not like the new Star Wars movie?
You know, there are free programs that can give you a demon voice. You don't need to act like you know how to do that, especially with your teenager cracks randomly voice. You really should think about these things before randomly doing a horrible, horrible, horrible commentary.
Why I believe it is actually one of the worst Star Wars movies to come out, and is worse than the prequels.
So yeah, a few scenes in the prequels were kinda crappy, but other than that, they were pretty good, and the new movie was actually really good itself, too.
Okay, let's see. How many scenes have Jar Jar in them? How many scenes have Anakin in them? And yeah, there's way more wrong with this than just a couple of scenes. Also, the line, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Yeah, he says that right after killing a bunch of kids. Yeah, that's like way more than a few scenes of wrong there.
I do admit a few scenes were a little off, but other than that, it was good.
There's gonna be minimal editing on this, and there might be some parts where I leave it in. I'm gonna edit it, but be warned. I should also say before starting this out, that this is not scripted, but it is going to contain spoilers. So if you plan on going to see this movie, then you probably want to steer clear of this video. Okay, so I'm gonna...
Of course it has to have spoilers. You can't make a spoiler-free.
Well, you know, if you don't talk about the story, you only talk about things that wouldn't really need to be crucial to the plot, you could do a spoiler-free review. It's, very easy.
God.
Start out by saying my biggest complaint with this movie is that it is just A New Hope redone with bigger stuff.
Okay, what? No. It is not New Hope. A New Hope was worse than this.
Huh. You know, I seem to remember in one of our other commentaries that, yeah, New Hope was actually rated better by critics than Episode 7. Albeit by 2%, but 2% still more percent. Do research for once, please.
In my opinion, but it was still pretty good. I will say that, but this is not New Hope.
Dude, even fans of this movie that say that this is going to be like the greatest movie ever still think this is New Hope. I think you would know that.
Redone. Okay.
So I'm gonna compare this. You know when you're on the playground or something when you're a kid and...
Wait, what? What does being a kid on a playground have to do with the new movie?
He's making a comparison. He literally said, right before he said that, this is a comparison. Listen for once.
Please explain.
Well, where is it? I'm not gonna show you. That's essentially what this movie is, like, all throughout. So there's this part where it's revealed that the new whatever the fuck they were called.
Okay, it's the New Republic, you Loser, please stop.
You realize he was already grasping on the concept of New Republic right before he just said he didn't care, right? I mean, you actually watched this video, like, more than once, right?
And pay attention next time to the next movie when it comes out like 2 years from now. I mean, really. Come on, man.
Hey, maybe you should do the same and pay attention to the video. Because I already explained why you should have paid attention.
Really?
The bad guys, they've built like this Death Star thing, but it's the size of a planet. And they do exactly the same thing that the Death Star did, except they destroy 5 planets at once.
The newer version of the Death Star is better than the older version, but the way that it looks is slightly less better than the older one. I personally liked the older one because of the fact that it was so just menacing. The newer one looks more kind of wimpy, like you're trying to sneak past the enemy so that you can sneak attack them because of the fact that it's built into a planet. The other one was just like, yo, we're coming to get ya. Get ready for a fight. But yeah, it is slightly better because it destroys 5 planets and destroys suns, so yeah, it's better.
First, yeah, totally menacing. A giant gray basketball with an air pocket in it is totally menacing. 2, it's trying to be frickin' incognito because, you know, the First Order probably doesn't have the, you know, strength to take on the whole Republic might when they already know that, you know, they're, like, going to kill you. And 3, that's not that cool. It's just a giant ball in space. That's all it is. The Star Killer is like, oh my god, they destroyed a planet to make this. Oh my god.
And when they destroy these 5 planets, it shows all of the civilians of that planet just being like, oh no, we're all gonna die. It's just that one scene from the first Star Wars film where the Death Star blows up Leia's planet and she's like, oh no, but like done with like a 20 times bigger Death Star and with 5 planets instead, just to up the destruction.
Michael Bay presents Star Wars Explosions.
Then later on we've got Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren really fucking pisses me off because
Kylo is the coolest villain I've seen in this trilogy so far, so yeah, you can't be hating on him.
Okay, fine. I will agree that Kylo is a pretty cool villain, but I will sit to my guns and say, what is that picture? Why would you ever choose that picture when looking for Avatar material? It's not a ponification of the Ender Dragon, so why is it here? Trust me, this comes back later on.
The way that they depicted him in the trailer was that he was gonna be like a really cool villain, kind of like in the way that Darth Vader was. But he's really not. He's not cool at all. He's, I guess, spoiler, he's the son of Leia and Han Solo. He's wearing this mask. I think he's wearing this mask for a reason, like how Darth Vader needed it. But then he just like takes it off when he doesn't need to, and he's just a guy. He's just a loser.
You're a loser. And the reason Kylo even has the mask is just for, you know, added effects and drama because his life sucks, you know?
Does that really excuse the fact that it's kind of a no-reason mask, which a lot of, like, Sith guys have? Also, his life sucks. He is the leader of one of the more powerful entities now in the Star Wars universe and has a pretty kickin' job being the main awesome guy for the First Order. And plus he can use a lightsaber. How is your life sucky when you can use a lightsaber?
He's just a loser looking guy. He's not powerful. He looks like a loser, and he's like, you know that that one part of Revenge of the Sith, Anakin is all like, from my point of view, the light side of the Force is evil, and it's really stupid because he just went and killed a bunch of kids. Essentially, imagine stretching that one scene across an entire movie, and that's Kylo Ren. And worst of all, major spoiler alert, Han Solo dies at about halfway through the movie, and Kylo Ren kills him.
Actually, I just wanted to let you know, and if you're watching this commentary on your thing, and for all the people out there, Kylo Ren did not kill Han. Han actually pressed the button of Kylo's lightsaber so that Kylo wouldn't have to deal with the stress of him killing his own father.
Did you do any research? Did you really? I'm guessing that you thought that the little embrace where Han Solo and Kylo Ren are trying to make sure that Han does not get stabbed, because Han is trying to make sure that he doesn't get stabbed by this man who has gone off the deep end. You realize that if Kylo Ren didn't kill Han Solo, would have been all pointless. All completely pointless. And your example of, oh, he wanted to spare him the problems? No! Han Solo realizes that he is way far gone to ever come back to the light. And Kylo Ren knows this, he knows this, and just does it. He kills Han Solo with his lightsaber. He kills his own father. It's not about saving him from the emotional turmoil. He doesn't have any emotional turmoil. He doesn't. He is evil. The point is to show that Kylo Ren has gone off the deep end. You just ruin every single good part of this Star Wars movie, don't you? Oh yeah, you think it's good, oh yeah. But you just ruin the good parts because you ruin what was good about them.
So yeah, just a little fun fact wanted to let you.
Up to this point, Kylo Ren has been just a loser. He sucks.
We get it. You hate Kylo. Stop hating on him already. It's getting annoying, okay?
And
I know that related to my earlier videos, I'm probably being a total hypocrite, but it really gets annoying when these people are always doing this stuff after the fact and trying to change stuff that they know can't change in a video. Again, probably totally being hypocritical here, but I'm admitting it. I'm hoping that'll, like, you know, set something straight that I get it. You shouldn't do that, because it's after the fact. You're never gonna get your wishes. You should know this by now.
he's not the character to kill off Han Solo with. And they make this like whole sort of build up of Kylo Ren taking off his mask. He's got the main character girl Rey in like this torture chair, and she's like, take off your mask. He's like, okay, it's that easy. And there's like this sort of like slow reveal as he unhitches his mask, and he looks kind of like a mixture of, like if you smashed Snape and Benedict Cumberbatch together to make this ungodly fusion that is Kylo Ren's stupid fucking foot face. He looks like a foot with facial features and an emo haircut.
You have a foot face. And who the heck is Benedict Cumberbatch? I've never heard of him. I've heard of Snape, but who the heck is Benedict Cumberbatch? Please tell us. We don't know him.
That was really just said? That was really just said. You, not we, don't know who Benedict Cumberbatch is. Let's see. What has Benedict Cumberbatch been in recently? Oh, I don't know. Maybe being Smaug from The Hobbit. You know, that really huge role that everybody knows him from. And I would think that you would have seen The Hobbit. What is wrong with you? You claim that Han Solo killed himself and that Benedict Cumberbatch is not a famous person that everybody who watches movies, or at least watches stuff like Star Wars and The Hobbit, would know. Are you just like the anti-intelligent? Are you? Is your number 666, but the 666s are all upside down and written in freaking scribble letters? Is that how stupid you are? Is it? Is it?
And there's just no reason to be wearing the mask. The villains, I don't even know who they are. I mean, like, in the original movies, you didn't really get entirely what the Empire was, but in this, it's just unclear what the New Order is.
Oh my god, dude. It's the First Order, not New Order, First Order, okay?
You know, I was gonna give you points for that, but you stuttered, so sorry, no points for you.
Okay.
They're led by this big, weird guy. He shows up in holograms, and he's huge in the hologram. And then they have stormtroopers for some reason. There's really no reason for them to exist. We don't understand what their motives are. They're not really striving for dominance like the Empire was, and they're just kind of there, and they're inexplicably evil. Another problem I had was with the main character Finn. One of the main characters he's an ex-stormtrooper who is in fact a clone.
Actually, if you take a look at the cast of the new movie, and you look at all the stormtroopers or whatever, they are not clones. They are individual people that were recruited, basically.
Okay, one, the cast has nothing to do with this. You could have just said they're not clones. Second, I don't call Nazi-ish brainwashing recruiting. I don't call that recruiting. I call that brainwashing. These guys did not want to be stormtroopers from birth. They were brainwashed. There's a difference.
So he's not a clone, okay?
In one of the very first scenes of the movie, he is, along with his troop, ordered to kill a whole bunch of civilians in this one place they were storming. He's just like, I just can't! First of all, stormtroopers are like highly trained official people. It's not like they're first time people who are gonna have like doubts about killing people. They're like trained. They're trained. Second of all, he is cloned.
Again, not a clone, and yes, they would have doubts because they were normal people that were recruited to the First Order, okay?
If you can repeat your points, I can repeat my point. They weren't recruited. These guys did not want to be merciless killers from day one. They were brainwashed. Rewatch the movie when it comes out on Blu-ray, and when you find all the stupidity that you said in this video stupid, come back and tell me.
Okay.
Whole first, like, third of this movie is a mess, because it takes place on this, like, desert planet. I forget what it's called. It's not Tatooine. You think it's Tatooine at first.
It's Jakku. In the movie they say it's Jakku, like, why does everybody want to go back to Jakku? But I believe it used to be Hoth.
Are you, like, that dumb? Are you really? Because even if something so amazingly crazy and out of nowhere happened to change the orbit of Hoth, to turn it from subarctic wasteland to desert wasteland, happened, they wouldn't rename the frickin' planet. There's no reason in any outer universe or in-universe canon that Hoth is now Jakku. There's nothing to suggest this. Where did you get your research? Oh wait, you didn't get research. Never mind.
Not sure, but it does have only one sun. It's not in a binary system.
But it might as well be. It's basically Tatooine, the sequel. We just made Tatooine again, but gave it a different name. But what's stupid about it is that it's just kind of like it's like an art gallery of various old set pieces from the Star Wars series. There's like a scene where the main character Rey she's like eating something, and she's eating it inside like the foot of an AT-AT. And there's no explanation for why this AT-AT is there.
Because it used to be Hoth.
Okay. One, it's not the Battle of Hoth. It would never be the Battle of Hoth, because it's not Hoth. It's not. Two, just because there's an AT-AT does not mean that it was the Battle of Hoth. AT-ATs are a standard military craft for the Empire. And three, it is very well explained in the Battle of Jakku, in the game, Star Wars Battlefront, that this all happened in that battle, including the Star Destroyer. Which, you're saying that just because it's Hoth, there's a Star Destroyer, which makes no sense, because they never shot down a Star Destroyer on Hoth.
Holy crap, dude.
It's just like laying there in the middle of the desert on a planet where there was never an invasion, and there's like 3 broken down Star Destroyers just kind of like laying there in the desert. They're not doing anything there. Is this just like the trash dump? Like after the war they just threw all of the old ships there? It looks like if you gave a kid who's playing in a sandbox a bunch of Star Wars toys, basically. And that's the entire first third of this movie. The planet's called Jakku, by the way, and they talk a lot about it. Like, the main character girl's like, I gotta go back, but they don't really explain why she has to go back. It's like she's an orphan, like her parents were taken away or something, and she wants to wait for them, but they don't really go into it. There's no real reason that we should be rooting for these characters.
Other than the fact that they're trying to stop the forces of evil, like the dark side, from destroying the entire universe.
Of course!
Like the scene where Han and the other main characters, they capture this like stormtrooper leader.
The stormtrooper's name is Captain Phasma. She's a girl, by the way. And she's pretty cool.
Like,
You know, it's not like by not remembering her name, he was making a commentary on how, like, not cool Phasma is. I mean, yeah, she's pretty cool with that, like, chrome thing or whatever. But really, you had no reason to do that, because the only reason that he forgot the name was because this is live. Or at least, like, non-scripted. So you can't really, like, criticize that. That's not cool, bro.
it just doesn't even fit with the whole, like, Star Wars vibe, because Star Wars
is wars with lasers in space.
Star Wars is not just wars in space. It's a much more complicated story than your childish view of it. And that's just the most blanketed statement I've ever heard from anyone. Oh, Star Wars is just wars in space. Yeah, that's why we have 7 movies of this. I guess people really are that stupid in your mind to watch just wars in space 7 times.
Yeah, Star Wars.
With all of the drama that happened and stuff, it's still like an overall humorous and fun movie that I would show to younger audiences. I wouldn't show this to younger audiences, not because it's like particularly extremely violent or anything, just it's just bad, and it has no good moral dilemmas. There's no real reason that anyone does anything.
It's Star Wars. I don't think it should have a moral or anything, because it's meant to be a cool, action-packed, hyped-up kind of movie that's fun to watch, you know?
For this one, I want to get a second opinion. Let's see who's around.
Star Wars has always had a moral. In the beginning, back in the 70s, it was very easy, good and bad. You know, heroes triumph over evil. The Empire's bad, the rebels are good. In a 21st century movie, it's not quite so cut and dried. It's a little ambiguous sometimes. Heroes have moral dilemmas. Villains have moments of indecision. That's because in the modern era, it's more realistic for these things to happen. But there's still a moral. It's still good triumphs over evil.
I'm gonna say it now. The prequels feel more like Star Wars movies than this feels like a Star Wars movie. This feels like a J.J. Abrams movie.
The reason it feels and looks like a J.J. Abrams movie is because it really is a J.J. Abrams movie. I mean, really, come on, dude. Are you that oblivious to the trailers?
Which it is.
Okay, 1, he already knew that it was a J.J. Abrams movie. And 2, does it being a J.J. Abrams movie really mean anything? And really, what even classifies stuff as a Star Wars movie? I really want to know this. Is it the CGI being ramped up to a power level of 9,000? Is it a squash-buckling epic? Is it? What is it? We don't know. And trust me, it's not Lucas directing, because that means nothing. Because he didn't direct most of the Star Wars series. But anyway, getting back to your point, does it really matter who directed it? And this is a point on both of you, actually. Does it matter who directed it? I mean, if we had Lucas back in here, he'd do the same stuff we hated him for in the last 3 movies. And really, what is the meaning of having a different director if it doesn't matter. And really, that makes both of your statements pointless. It really does.
You can really tell that this was a J.J. Abrams movie. It's overly dark, it's overly edgy, the color scheme is made mainly of cold blue colors and darkness, and it's covered in a shit ton of lens flares, just because he loves those for whatever reason. It's not a Star Wars movie in tone sense. It's like Hot Topic made a Star Wars movie, basically. Now, I might be hallucinating here or something. I swear to God this happened. So, during the entire movie, by the way, C-3PO and R2-D2 are just shoved to the side throughout, but R2-D2 is completely deactivated throughout the movie. He just kind of sits there as a hunk of metal, and at the end he reactivates for no reason.
He's not reactivated for no reason. BB-8 actually reactivates him.
Well, you see, the problem with saying that is it's not really BB-8 reactivates R2. Once BB-8 shows up and the guys have won, then R2 realizes, okay, I need to get this part of the map to that part of the map. I'm going to wake up now, because he wasn't really broken. You can't fix something that isn't truly broken. Because this guy was basically just like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this. Luke is gone. I am done. Peacing out, man. That's basically what R2 was doing. And you can't really, like, reactivate something that's never truly been deactivated. So no, BB-8 does not reactivate R2. At least not technically. Also, what is that image? Why do you keep changing your avatar? We have one avatar. That's all you need. That's all you need, man.
Later on, when Kylo Ren kills Han Solo...
Again, Han basically killed himself, so Kylo wouldn't have to deal with the stress.
As the main characters watch from a distance, it does exactly the same thing as with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in the first movie, but so much worse.
Obi-Wan actually lets Darth Vader kill him in the Death Star scene because he knows that he can evolve to a newer era and help Luke whenever he wants to help him, you know?
Now,
actually, the real reason why Obi-Wan let himself get killed is because without him being killed, Luke would have never gotten on that ship, would have never left the Empire, would have never allowed Obi-Wan to stay there, and he would have stayed and gotten himself killed by the Empire because he's trying to fight his way through all these stormtroopers. If Obi-Wan had not done that, Luke would have been dead right there. That's a way better reason than the one you gave.
would I recommend this movie to someone who's really into Star Wars? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It's absolute shit. Would I recommend it to anyone to watch? No, I wouldn't. It's absolute trash. It's...
I would definitely recommend it to people, and I also know a lot of people who have seen it who think it's really good as well.
You know, for once, I think we actually agree with something. It's a miracle that we agree with something, but under all the sins, it's not very, you know, amazing.
Now, do I think that George Lucas would have done it better? Perhaps. I actually think that maybe he could have done it better.
Okay, I know I'm not supposed to be, like, talking about what this guy is saying, because I'm talking about the other guy in this video, but he had 3 chances to make this better, man. He had 3 chances, and he blew them all. He blew them all away. He ruined it. George Lucas is one of the main reasons why this sucks now. And J.J. Abrams really tried his best, and I think he did what he could. He did. He did his best, and he brought it back to what we all love. And if that means making New Hope again, I don't care. As long as it's good, I don't care.
Even knowing how, like, low George Lucas has fallen in the past few years from what he used to be, he still was able to get in mind sort of the feeling and the universe that Star Wars took place in.
Okay. If you want CGI that's over 9,000 in levels, then, yeah, you're alone on that one, buddy.
During the making of the prequels, and this just feels wrong. Just completely wrong.
It's your opinion you don't like it, and it's my opinion that I like it, that I love it. But, I mean, the fact that you're just trying to hate on it on purpose is kind of rude, don't you think?
Anyways,
Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too?
I mean, what did you guys think of it? Maybe I'm just being too harsh or too critical, but in my mind, I think this is probably worse than Attack of the Clones, worse than Phantom Menace, worse than Revenge of the Sith. Probably, in my mind, the worst Star Wars film that has come out. Worse than the holiday special. This was worse than the fucking holiday special.
Hey, keep it down, buddy. Watch it, okay? You're gonna offend a lot of people, but I honestly liked it. I really did like it, but so yeah. This is the end of this, and so yeah, if you could like...
That's it? No, like, ending thoughts? No last minute commentary on the video? Just, I liked the movie and you didn't. Blah, blah, blah. That's it? Nothing more? And the last couple of minutes of this video aren't exactly anything either. They're just a throwaway bit that he did for no reason. Really? Oh my god. Just... Oh my god. This is so horrible.
Comment, subscribe, dislike if you want.
Hey, don't blame me for how many dislikes this thing is getting. He said you can dislike. Don't blame me for that one.
Leave a comment and wait. Jason, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna blaze it 420.
How to deal with a joke about somebody who recently deleted their channel without sounding like a complete and total idiot for trying. I know.
All the time.
Of course you are, Jason. Of course you are. God. Why did you even appear? I mean, really?
Plot convenience, of course, Gabe.
Okay, I'm stopping the video here because this is getting annoying. More annoying. Anyway, this was... What's an easy way to say entirely awful in every way? I mean, talk about the anti-beginner's luck, because my god. Worst first commentary ever. And this is from me. And trust me, I have had some horrible first few commentaries. Really. But this just was awful. I mean, at least whenever I stopped talking, I could cut myself off at the right point to not fully snip off a line that I was trying to do. But anyway, in summation, horrible. Well, both of them, horrible. I mean, the guy I'm commentating on was horrible, the dude he was commentating on was horrible, and I dare say that a lot of people think that I am horrible. So this was basically just a trifecta of horrible. Anyway, that'll be it for this, and I will see you on the next commentary.